Oil is expensive, confidence is shaky, the Fed is not moving, and inflation just reminded everyone who is still in charge. Welcome back to RealPage Economy Express. Start with the consumer because that is where the mood shift is most visible. Americans are nervous. The University of Michigan's final March reading landed near its lowest point since last year, dragged down by surging gas prices and financial market turbulence tied to the Iran conflict. The conference board painted a slightly different picture on the surface, but dig past the headline and expectations for the future quietly fell too. People feel like they're managing today. What worries them is what comes next. That helps explain why the Fed read the same room and stayed put. Minutes from the March meeting confirmed the committee had no appetite to move rates in either direction. Officials acknowledged inflation is still running above their target and noted that recent progress has stalled. On the spending side, February PCE told the same familiar story. Income slipped slightly, while spending still climbed. People are opening their wallets, their paychecks just are not keeping pace. That uneasy balance carries over into the labor market, which has been anything but steady. February was rough, with the economy actually losing jobs. March came back stronger, with payrolls rebounding solidly, and healthcare, construction, as well as transportation leading the way. Federal government employment continued to shrink. Weekly jobless claims held low, a sign that layoffs are not the problem. But the hiring data tells a quieter story underneath all of that. Employers are posting openings, they are just not filling them at the pace they used to. All of that leaves housing caught in the crossfire. Mortgage rates climbed back to their highest level since last summer, and buyers felt it immediately. Applications fell sharply, refinancing took the biggest hit, and home price appreciation slowed to its softest reading in over a year. The market is not falling apart, it is just frozen in place, waiting for something to change. And that brings us to the number that really set the tone. March CPI jumped to its highest level in nearly 2 years, driven almost entirely by a historic surge in gasoline. Energy costs exploding in a single month, pushing the headline well above where it had been sitting for most of the past year. Core inflation held relatively steady, which tells you this is still mostly an energy story for now. But higher gas prices bleed into almost everything: transportation, food, and consumer confidence. The Fed was already sitting on its hands. Now it has even more reason to stay there. Jobs holding, inflation surging, consumers nervous, housing frozen. Same economy, inflation just got louder. Thanks for watching RealPage Economy Express.